I made the gesture. I want to open with an epigraph from Marimba, who wrote Urugu. It's necessary work for anyone who needs to understand how they are positioned here in the Western world within the framework of this language that is foreign to us. Europe's political domination of Africa and much of the non-European world has been accompanied by relentless cultural and psychological rape and by devastating economic exploitation. But what has compelled me to write this book is the conviction that beneath this deadly onslaught lies a stultifying intellectual mystification that prevents Europe's political victims from thinking in a manner that would lead to authentic self-determination. Intellectual decolonization is a prerequisite for the creation of successful political decolonization and cultural reconstruction strategies. The secret Europeans discovered early in their history is that culture carries rules for thinking, and that if you could impose your culture on your victims, you could limit the creativity of their vision, destroying their ability to act with will and intent and in their own interests. The truth is that we are all intellectuals, all potential visionaries. Dr. Marimba, did you get that part that said that culture carries rules for thinking, and that if you could impose your culture on your victims, you could limit the creativity of their vision? Okay. The exercise that you just engaged in today was a limitation of your vision. You were talking within the realm of somebody else's framework. You have no power within that framework. Culture carries rules for thinking. Whose culture are you in and operating from when you speak this language? I'm poeting right now. Whose culture, whose language are you speaking? What are you listening for in terms of meaning? If I must come to the table because I have been invited by the agents of the people who have the money, I have no power. My voice is being heard by the agents in the room. No aspersion to the architectural firm. But the reality is, this community has been wiped out. And they want to complete the job. And they need your approval to do that. The power in this room was sitting back there at the table. The elders, And the people who brought the elders into the room, the young folk, the elders and the young folk getting together, understanding what the history has been in this community, but this community is the content. What is the context? What's happened here since the 60s? What has gone forth? What drives you now? Where are you, black people? And black people stand tall. And yo, rise up and rejoice. You have no reason to rejoice if somebody wants to come and put something in the place where you live, where you have lived. Where's your power? Your power is in the collective. Your power is not in the individual. Third space is an absolutely fabulous beginning. This is happening all over Cleveland. Is it connected? Where's the connections? Black people, and I'm not saying black people in opposition to white people. I'm saying nobody's listening to you if you do not bring collective voice. If you bring individual voice into the room, you're being, I ain't gonna say that. Ain't nobody listening to you. So, I had to get that off my head. And this too. People hear the word poetry and they think entertainment. I ain't no entertainer. I ain't never gonna be no entertainer. I don't perform. We started performing on plantations on weekends when Massa had his folks come over and we played the banjo and danced and sang for them. We got through that. But we still performing because we don't know where we're at. This is America, people. And America ain't what you've been told it is. America is not we the people. America is we the rich folk control all labor and all production. That's America. That America is sitting in Washington looking out at you saying, we're bringing back the fall of Reconstruction. Be warned. It's not coming, it's already here. For My People by Margaret Walker. For my people everywhere singing their slave songs repeatedly, their dirges and their ditties, their blues and jubilees, praying their prayers nightly to an unknown God, bending their knees humbly to an unseen power. For my people, lending their strength to the years, to the gone years and the now years and the maybe years, washing, ironing, cooking, scrubbing, sewing, mending, hoeing, plowing, digging, planting, pruning, patching, dragging along, never gaining, never reaping, never knowing, and never understanding. For my playmates in the clay and dust and sand of Alabama, Alabama backyards, playing and baptizing and preaching and doctor and jail and soldier and school and mama and cooking and playhouse and concert and store and hair and Miss Chumby and company. For the cramped, bewildered years, we went to school to learn, to know the reasons why, and the places where, and the days when, in the memory of the bitter hours, when we discovered we were black and poor and different and small, and nobody cared, and nobody wondered, and nobody understood. Okay, my computer is locked up. Let me see if we can get it to me. For the boys and girls who grew in spite of these things, to be man and woman, to laugh and dance and sing and play and drink their wine and religion and success, to marry their playmates and bear children and then die of consumption and anemia and lynching. For my people thronging 47th Street and Lenox Avenue in New York and Rampart Street in New Orleans, lost, disinherited, dispossessed, and happy people, filling the cabarets and taverns and other people's pockets and needing bread and shoes and milk and land and money and something all our own. For my people walking blindly, spreading joy, losing time, being lazy, sleeping when hungry, shouting when burdened, drinking when hopeless, tied and shackled and tangled among ourselves by the unseen creatures who tower over us omnisciently and laugh. For my people blundering and groping and floundering in the dark of churches and schools and clubs and societies, associations and councils and committees and conventions, distressed and disturbed and deceived and devoured by money-hungry, glory-craving leeches, preyed on by facile force of state and fad and novelty, by false prophet and holy believer. For my people standing, staring to fashion a better way from confusion, from hypocrisy and misunderstanding, trying to fashion a world that will hold all the people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves in their countless generations. Let a new earth rise. Let another world be born. Let a bloody peace be written in the sky. Let a second generation full of courage issue forth. Let a people loving freedom come to growth. Let a beauty full of healing and a strength of final clenching be the pulsing in our spirits and our blood. Let the martial songs be written. Let the dirges disappear. Let a race of men now rise and take control. Margaret.